What's up? It's Bofur, back again. Today we have our boy Cthulhu again. And I know, before you probably turned off the video last time I recorded a video with Cthulhu. Because it was like, oh, Cthulhu, this doesn't win lobbies. Well, it can win lobbies. And you were like, oh, you just high rolled as Cthulhu. You got that early token, you leveled up, you found a triple into Light Fang. That wins lobbies. No way. Well, how about this one? How about Cthulhu with no token? Not high rolling. Just go and find some random divine shields, do a little pivot, counter a couple people, collect your points. Another Cthulhu win. Coming right up. Enjoy. Turn 15 or whatever in the game, then sure, you can get to that place with Kali Nadina. But turn 12, turn 13, you're not getting there. You need like some kind of really early high roll where you hit like double Calicos by turn 8. Because realistically, you only play 4 to 5 battle cries a turn. If you get Calicos on turn 8, then that means you scaled on 9, 10, 11, 12, so you get approximately 16 to 20 buffed on the board, let alone the time you spend buying up dragons. And his board was 60-60. So even if you had all divine shields on a 30-30 board, you lose that round. It's kind of the, you know, the problem there. Yeah. That's true, Rimstalker. It's true, but the number that was given there was of players that have played 5 games. So you can take that how you will. If we want to compare to that global, was it 5 games? Whatever, it was a really low minimum number. So like, how many of them were between 0 and 1,000 rating? That was from March. There's one that was, yeah, that's the one you're talking about. That was recent. And the problem with using that number is that it's like, it's good if you're comparing off of... Alright, we're gonna actually take the pair, aren't we? Low curve Cthulhu Lego. Oh, it makes me look better? True. Yo, thanks Evelyn Maxim. The congrats. Appreciate it. Would have liked the token, you know, like damn, but we're leveling next turn and we're buying the rock pool and we're hero powering. And then what? We're level hero powering and then we're taking the micro mummy into a 4-star? Or are we just gonna triple into a 3 this game? Both are fine. How's M doing? Better. She's feeling a lot better. She's still not like within the effect of the treatment yet, so. Poogers! Yo, faster.
Poogers.
There you go. Yo, faster. Thank you for the 4 months, dude. Thank you for the support, peoples. But she's feeling better, you can tell, but she's not under the medication yet. So it's more just a coincidence that she's feeling better. Real question is, what do we do next turn? It is a mech that we're tripling, which does give a lot of incentive to leveling the 3. We're heavily incentivized to find mech synergy. That can be a Noya module off the triple, it can be Iron Sensei, and this is a reset for Deflectobot. Going to 3 is good. Going to 3 is not necessary for Cthulhu. In a lobby that has beasts, we've done this a million times, you know? You can stay on 2 the entire game and play for Selfless Hero, and then eventually on turn like 8 or 9, level up to 3, find Macaws, and play the game that way. Like, we've taken how many firsts off of that? And I mean like first, not like, oh, we played for top 4. Like, we've taken firsts with Cthulhu doing that so many damn times. Last meta. I mean, you don't always get first with Cthulhu. Cthulhu naturally kind of plays for second. This is a key turn, right? You either stay on 2 forever and we take the Markeyes, we win the round, we're happy, we... What do we want off of 4? What are we doing this for? Yeah, there's scaling there. I think we do it. It's tough. It's a close call. It's a lower tempo line, but it does have higher peak. And I think you kind of have to do that in this meta with Cthulhu. There's less of a line for playing the lower curve, whatever we want to call it, Cthulhu. Just doesn't have as much of a place in this meta. That couldn't go much worse. Hey, we took 2 damage off the board instead of 1 there at the end at least, so we took max damage, not over max. Did somebody block my emotes? Don't know. I doubt it. I mean, we're just a 1 minion Andy. I mean, it's one of the best 3 things that we could have hit. You either look for scaling or you look for just raw stats. And this is a lot of raw stats. At the same time, like, we just stay on 3 and play for mechs now. The other options that were really good were you could hit Bolvar. You could hit Egg, which we did hit, which was another decent one. Because it's just basically like a, let's say a 3-8 body and an 8-8 body. At this point in the game is really strong. You could also hit Champion Sarge, which doesn't do much right now, but you just get incentivized to buy every taunt, put them on the board, and we just level to 4 and play for taunt comp. Yo, nice jazz hands. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to Bofur's Gophers. Go for Bofur. That wasn't that bad a hit. I'll take it. While not perfect, it is a tie. Is it 50-50 for a win or 50-50 for a tie there at the end? Hey, look at you. This is also a pseudo Divine Shield. We just need to find blood gems. We only buy 1, and we're on 3. We can probably do better than that. Alright, we really didn't get better than that, but... Probably take the Screwjank over the Twilight Emissary. Even though this is more stats. This is more stats on a relevant minion. And we're going to leave it on the board. It's just another mech. Instead of a dragon as well. Taunt isn't that important, but being another dragon is pretty good. Or being another mech. Because we are probably going to end up going to 4 this game. Yo, been watching for a while. Keep up the good work, dude. I appreciate the feedback. That's what we do. We chill, we climb. We lose. We still try to chill, but you know, get a little salty in the process. Drop a little bit. So switch those two. Repeat the process ad nauseum. I don't know. I don't think I gave enough credit to Cthulhu at the beginning of this patch. I know a lot of people aren't huge Cthulhu fans, and I get it. It's not the most exciting here. But he's still pretty strong, and we shouldn't discount easy MMR when it's given to us. Don't look gift MMR in the mouth. Been watching your videos, now I go taunt comp always. Like, taunt comp's good in certain situations, for sure. For sure. This is like one of the best things we could possibly hit. The question becomes, do we want to buy a 7th minion, or do we want to level here? I think we're incentivized enough at this point in the game to go find a 7th minion. I don't want the menace necessarily, because the best version of this comp is going to end up with McCall on the board, and we already have a selfless. It's not like this thing gives us that much power. It makes another reset, I suppose. And we don't have a bird yet. I think we're gonna let it go. It ain't great. Quill boars. You see, there's a little bit of a problem here. If you put selfless here and this thing is not dead by that point that this attacks, then you can reshield Deflectobot and this is going to reset it anyway. On the other hand, if this isn't dead, then we have the opportunity to reshield this, and it's a lot bigger than the Deflecto at this point in the game. So in other words, okay, how did the Cthulhu get every buff? Or, not Cthulhu, Spawn. It got 4 buffs out of 9, and the buff from the Micro Mummy. Trolling ass Spawn. And we do below minimum. Cthulhu is the meta on mobile? I imagine. It's pretty good when you can't click buttons otherwise. Alright, these are kind of gross. If we thought he was pathetic, we could play down a minion, sell the spawn, play the Toxfin through hero power. Pathetic. Otherwise, we're just gonna freeze and pull the Toxfin. Really isn't that much weaker. Alright, I gamble it. He doesn't look strong, and on top of that, the spawn is our bumper at that point. And while a 1-1 is something, it's really not that much. He's showing beasts. It incentivizes us to actually like have 6 or 7 minions on the board. It's a little merit there. I guess our read was good. That's unfortunate. You need about 3 more turns to turn that corner. Yeah. Just a bit outside. And that feels like a low roll, you know? You're like, damn, I almost got there. Not really. That needs like 3 more turns to turn the corner. Just too late to take scaling like that. Well, there's the macaw. Probably buying this too, because we can't buy from the next board and pool. I leveled the 4 because module's a card, but that's about it. Maybe I should have stayed on 3. Realistically, how much value are you getting? From being on 4? Toxfin as well, actually. We hit the Toxfin on turn 1. Never mind, that's the reason I did it. I couldn't remember why I'm sitting here going, there's only one thing I want. Why did I waste that much gold going to 4? And it was like exact gold to do it, and Toxfin is a good hit because we had the Murloc. Nah, it makes more sense that way. Yeah, Module was the one we mentioned first. That Module's the only card that we were looking for. But then it was also Toxfin. Not to mention, going to 4, you get an extra board spot. It doesn't really reduce the chance to find a 3 or a 2 star. You get 20% more minions, or 25% more minions shown, and you dilute the pool by about the same percentage because you get 4 stars up there. But there are 2 4 stars we want. Isn't Hydra also really good? No, that's terrible. You can't buy Hydra here. Like, by the time you get to 4, you put that Hydra on the board, it gets an average of a 1.5 a turn. Like, if we think the game's gonna go to turn 40, then maybe. But we're a long way away from that. The problem with Hydra is always just time that it would take to scale. You don't have any open board spots, you're not cycling a bunch of buffs, and you only get 1.5 a turn. Like, that's a lot of turns you have to live through before that Hydra's even tolerable. Like, if you live 4 more turns, it's a 10 damage cleave. That's your context. We don't want a 10 damage cleave even right now. Like, it'd be barely better than, like, it's the weakest thing on our board. This is better. So, no reason to dwell any further than that. It's just too slow. Just too slow. We're gonna pick up the jug halfway through the turn like this because it is stats that we can potentially use later. For example, if we don't get this and we get another selfless hero or something, we don't get the Annoya module, then we're gonna cycle this thing through, and put another selfless hero on the board. If we get this in gold or that in gold, then we open the board spot to play a jug. No, that's the only thing I said, was it was better than. 10 damage cleaves better than the clunker. I agree. But it would be the 7th weakest thing, like the weakest thing on our board. Like, Macaw represents more value, Selfless represents more value, Deflectobot, Rockpool. And that's 10 damage 4 turns from now. It's a hard... I keep saying the same thing, but you know, I think it's an important point to drive home. It's the hard thing to grasp when you're learning the game, is that sometimes scaling just passes you by. You don't have enough time that you can make a line like that work. If it was turn 7, I picked up the Hydra anytime. Turn 10 or later, never. Like, what's it gonna do on these boards? It just dies. Still missing on those Divine Shields. This one. You're the best. And the worst. We lethaled him there quite a bit, right? Because this could live with the extra 1 damage. Would be too late to freeze for Bonkers. Same deal. Bonkers too slow at this point in the game. Blood gems also aren't that useful for us. Like these. We don't need the Toxfin anymore. You could argue that eventually making another Poison Murloc is a doable line. But we shouldn't be searching for a bunch of different things. We should be searching for 1 or 2 that play together. This is probably out of Macaw. You put 2 more divine shield, or 2 total divine shields either way. We play an extra 12/12 to the board. It's just too late to be playing for anything more greedy than that. Okay. Like, you know, it's turn 13. This game ends on like turn 15. No reason to play for turns that we don't have. If we live for next turn, then it's like you'd have to hit runner, bird for it to be an upgrade over what we currently have on the board. We're gonna make ourselves strong now to have a better chance to kill the Eudora. That'll do. Deflecto bot. That'll do. That'll do. We gave him max junk bot value. Like, that was pretty much perfect for him. But we sniped the cleave at the beginning, which is probably enough to win this. No reset from our side. Crazy. Crazy. Went perfectly to start and then terribly after. Alright, what is a board upgrade? We can just play 4 stats, which is probably what we do. We can put a secondary reset on the board, which is also okay. Put another Deflecto on the board? Doesn't seem awful. If we're not going to play for Macaw, then we can always have this. Don't care about this enough. Well, considering we have to buy 1 minion, Deflector seems fine there. It puts a Divine Shield on the board, which allows us to selfless this pretty consistently. If we go first, we always selfless it. If we go second, it's a 50-50. M needs a hug. Whoop. Cthulhu, the creeping inevitability of destroying people. If you can get far enough in the game, you do nice things. The creeping inevitability. Yeah, I mean, maybe outscales us, but he doesn't. So if the mech wins, we win this lobby. Okay, not the mech. How much worse would the 3-1 buff to the clunker have been for the reset, the big Deflecto? Yeah, terrible. You can't get both of these resets, right? You never, ever, ever, ever get 2 taunted minions to reset 1 Deflecto bot. It's a good thought, but there's a reason why you never put 2 resets as both taunts. They will inevitably die before the Deflecto gets hit a second time. There's a chance he has like a bomb or a ghoul or something where it could be relevant, but that's it. If we got a Deflecto, we can maybe do that. That might be our play, is that if we lose this round, we look for the Deflecto triple and then we make another poison. Amazing, we just like called our shot. It's not like we need this triple, right? This thing isn't exactly amazing, or the pair of them on the board. It's not like two big deflectos. Like people say, oh, never triple deflecto. There are times a triple deflecto. And it'll let us adapt to whatever he has on the board. We saw him 6 turns ago. He's gigantic Quillboars. It's probably another poison is what we need to get past big taunts. With Selfless first, it makes sense to microbot the other taunt, right? Why would you microbot 2 taunts? What is this logic? Why do we want 2 taunts microbotted? Like you're saying that in the event that you would lose your taunt before the deflecto goes, then sometimes you get an extra reset. As opposed to the deflecto bot always having 3 extra attack and on top of everything else, being able to reset the secondary deflecto we put on the board. Okay, maybe that's the logic. And then you say, okay, that's okay. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Like in that situation where his double Wind Furies, it would have been better to be on the taunt. But it's a pretty niche type of a situation where you get a second taunt mech actually reset the deflecto bot in any meaningful way, because the first one's going to do the job anyway with two things taunted, because it takes him attacking at least 2 times, if not, well, at least 2 times to kill the taunt Divine Shield reset taunt. That means he has to high roll going first, then 50-50 twice in a row, so that's a 1 in 8 chance. Now, assuming he has doesn't have Wind Fury. If he has Wind Fury, it's a lot higher. So yeah, I mean, I see the point for it, but like it's usually significantly worse than just putting the stats on the deflecto that gets to attack 2 to 3 times. It's like having a 3 attack buff on this thing 3 times as opposed to the taunt, which rarely gets value because they always hit it with bumpers and divine shields and shit. You're on fire today. Yeah, we are on fire today.